Cancer. Causes. A tumor is caused by a cell's failure to regulate reproduction properties. Without regulation, the cells grow uncontrollably, which eventually creates a tumor. The uncontrollable growth can be caused by a number of things like genetics or environmental factors. Even though there are specific types of cancers that are more likely to be caused by a genetic mutation than others, almost all can be. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, leukemia, breast cancer, and gastric cancers are most commonly caused by genetics or a gene mutation. Another factor in the rapid growth of cells is environmental. There are different carcinogens that interact with metabolic processes in the body and thus change how cells develop and grow. These carcinogens change the genetic makeup of cells because of their reaction. Both of these causes disrupt how the cells properly reproduce. They affect their growth pathways and force the cells to signal for continual growth when it would normally not be necessary. Treatments. According to the Holland Frey Cancer Medicine 5th edition, the goal of most current cancer therapy is to reduce the number of tumor cells and to prevent their further accumulation. Radiation therapy or chemotherapy is typically tried before surgery if it is thought to reduce the size of the tumor. There are different types of radiation therapy depending on the type and the severity of the cancer. One problem that is faced during radiation treatments is how long the treatment and prevention will last. Certain types may help to remove the cancer in the immediate time frame, but do not prevent the cancer from returning. Instead, the return rate of the cancer is high and the quality of life for the patient decreases over time. This means that the benefits for each type of radiation must also be considered with the risks. Another common treatment is surgery of the area the tumor is located. The goal of the surgery is to be able to give the patient a normal life after treatment. Each cancer has a treatment and order of treatments that will work best for them, and the oncologist will plan accordingly. My story. Cancer affects many people throughout the United States, and I am not one of those fortunate enough to avoid its wrath. When I was in 5th grade, my father was diagnosed with colon cancer. I was terrified, as was the rest of my family. My dad was diagnosed in August of 2004 and had surgery on September 8, 2004. Since the turnover of time between diagnosis and surgery was so small, he did not go through chemotherapy beforehand. Instead, he went right into surgery and started chemotherapy after. Going into the surgery and based off of my dad's diagnosis, the doctors thought that he would be able to reattach the small and large intestine after the tumor and surrounding area was removed. During the first surgery, the doctor was not able to reattach the small and large intestine, but there was still a chance that they could go back in later on and try and reattach the two so that my dad's life would return to normal. Sadly, this could not be done, which means that my father's small intestine sticks out of his side about a half an inch. The doctors had performed an ileostomy, and for the rest of my dad's life, he will use a bag because he no longer has a connection between his small and large intestine. This was just one of the ways life had to change for my family and I. After surgery, my dad was in the hospital for weeks. He was not able to eat, and once a feeding tube was removed, he struggled to keep any food down, and in the end, the tube was put back in. After almost a month in the hospital, my dad was released and came home. He did not have a lot of energy and had to start chemotherapy soon after his return. The chemo was the worst part about the entire experience. Everything my dad drank had to be room temperature or warm because the cold created a burning sensation on his hands. He rarely went out to watch my brother play baseball or me cheer because he simply did not have the energy. Then there were the weeks when the chemo was bumped back to the next because the counts were not high enough or his body simply could not handle any more medicine. After months of chemotherapy and recovery, he started to regain some of his strength. We were able to go to Disney World, a vacation that had been scheduled for years, in December of 2004 and again in July of 2005. The treatment and surgery that he had was able to remove all of the cancer cells from the location, and he is now officially a cancer survivor. It has been 10 years since his surgery and treatment, and certain things still affect his daily life, like the ileostomy. But these are things that you learn to live with and take in stride. At the time, the elementary school I was at was an amazing support system. The guidance counselor would meet with me whenever I needed someone to talk to, and would allow my brother and me to see each other during the day if one of us was struggling. The support that we had throughout the year from the staff at the school helped make the year go by almost as if nothing had happened. Family and friends still ask how he is doing, even though it has been years, and the word cancer still pulls all of my family and friends back to that faithful year when we heard the words, "You have cancer."